Beholder is a straight up like political horror game. I think that that's super interesting and really, really cool. But in a way, it also is kind of terrifying because it does hit really close to home. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. You're going to notice two things really quick right off the bat. One, I sound like garbage because I've been sick for the past several days and I'm waiting on a COVID test. Here's hoping I am not positive. Two, I just shaved and now I'm like real splotchy down here and it's really like, it's bugging me like seeing this on my OBS right now. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I'm not here to talk about my health or my splotchiness. I'm here to talk about Beholder because this game was freaking cool. You play as Carl Stein and you and your family move into an apartment building that you run and manage, and all of your tenants are people that you are spying on and profiling and sending information to the ministry, you know, the state, the government of the country that you belong in. And this is some sort of alternate history, dystopian Russian country or something like that. I don't know, something. So you spend the game spying on people, putting cameras in their apartments, going through their belongings, kind of seeing what their deal is, finding out information about them, their secrets, what kind of things that they do during the day, what they do for work, who their friends and family and contacts are, stuff like that. And then you send that information to the government, in which you get rewarded, one, with basically points that are kind of actually like more like reputation with the government, but you can spend that as actual physical points to do certain things, like, let's say, get information out of people, bribe people, get yourself out of certain situations. You can also earn money. The government will send you money for the information that you share or completing tasks. You get a lot of tasks from the government. Profile this person, kick this person out, turn this person in when you find evidence of their misdeeds, because there's constantly updates with like new ordinances of like fish is now illegal, apples are now illegal, wearing a blue tie is now illegal. It's constant. Like that stuff keeps happening and keeps being updated throughout the game. So it gets trickier and trickier and there's more and more things happening. But the big challenge of that is, if that doesn't sound like a challenge, these people that you are spying on and stuff like that, they could help you because your family needs money. Your family has health problems. These are problems that the government cannot solve for you, but your tenants might be able to help you, or they might know someone that can help you, or maybe if you do favors for them, they can do something. So it's like this balance of making choices between helping your family, helping the tenants, but on the other side of things, if you help the tenants, what if that gets you in trouble with the government because you're supposed to be spying on them and turning them in? But if you don't help your tenants, maybe your family suffers. So I went through this playthrough trying to do what I could to get my family all the way through, because when I first started playing it, I was just kind of like not sure how this game was going to go. I didn't know what the game was really about. And then I was kind of floundering and stuff like that a lot. And you'll see in the first few sessions, I'm like, oh my God, my wife is the worst. I hate it. Sorry, Rochelle, not you. In-game wife, Anna, she was terrible. Halfway through this thing, and then with lots of losses, was just like, there's got to be a way to get my family through this thing and on the other side of this. And I want to try to figure that out. And I was successful, but I had to hurt a lot of people to do it. And that's kind of what I wanted to look at in this video and examine, is the idea of, can you be a hero in this world? Can you be a good guy? Or are you a bad guy? Is it possible in this game to be a good person? And I think the answer isn't clear cut. I think that there is no black or white in this game, that literally is made in shades of like black and white. Like, but you know, I guess if we're being honest, the characters are black and white, but there's lots of shades of gray. And that's actually a very visual representation of this story. And what's taking place is this world is shades of gray. There is no clear cut right and wrong, because everybody is doing hard things and making hard decisions to try to better themselves or their families or friends, because this is a world where you have to step on other people to get ahead. So why does this warrant a video? This had me thinking about American politics a lot. And because, we just had an election. As I'm recording this right now on November 5th. Remember the 5th of November. At the moment, we don't have an answer yet as far as the outcome of the election. Now, we have ideas on how that's going to go. Those ideas are probably going to be challenged in some way, because I don't think anyone believes that this is going to be a clear-cut thing. I think no matter who the winner is, this is going to be a huge legal battle, regardless of what happens, just knowing one of the people involved in this whole mess. In America, we as a country feel so divided right now. And I don't know if other countries see that as much as we do. And I know other countries have gone through this and gone through it much, much, much worse than America has. However, this is fairly new to us aside from the Civil War, but the generations that are alive right now don't really have much as far as to look back on and remember times where things were like this before. And so why is that? It's because we have two very different sides of the coin. Well, I say very different. There are plenty of commonalities, but the big focus points of the two sides are really those differences. Everyone wants to hone in on those differences and not look at the common grounds, which is a huge problem and why it is so hard to get along and to find a moderate space or to find candidates that can really deal with both sides. This is the big problem. Both sides fear this game as the inevitable outcome of the other side winning. This is an extreme example of that, but there is some logic in it. Let me take the ideals of, let's say, the far right of our country. So the far right is very based in tradition and individuals' rights. So some of their big things are losing aspects of American culture and losing individual freedoms, such as the right to own a gun, has always been a really, really big problem. So if they see the left taking over, they see that as a threat against those things of, we're going to be losing our culture. Our country is not going to look the same anymore. We're going to start losing our freedoms. We're going to lose our guns. Soon we won't be able to speak out against that kind of thing. Soon people in our country aren't even going to look like us anymore. And then on the far left side of things, where it's very much about, instead of looking at individual freedoms, it's about looking at a larger picture of a society, of trying to even the playing field for everybody, which is why socialism gets brought up a lot with that. So it's a lot more of making sure that healthcare is something that everybody has, not just some people, and making sure that, minorities get equal opportunities as everybody else, and recognized like everybody else, and not just like white cisgender men. With having said the other thing about the far right, you can kind of see where there's some tensions and stuff. They become exaggerated and become this huge divide. One side losing to the other side sees it as the beginning of a snowball effect. And inevitably, the worst outcome is this game, is Beholder. The side that loses, having to scrape by in a system designed to oppress them, and then they have to do whatever they can to keep themselves afloat, is playing into those fears of a takeover, of helplessness, of being caught in a system where you can't do anything about the situation that you're stuck in, and the horror of what that turns you into, because it really shows you at your core how far you're willing to go to better yourself or better your situation or your family situation. So like, for example, in this game, because I decided at one point my ultimate goal is now going to be getting my family through this. There's one episode of this playthrough that I planted evidence on people and turned like 3 or 4 people into the government in like one session. It means that they're going to be like arrested and who knows after that. And during the arrest, they're beaten. And so I'm assuming they're sent off to like labor camps or who knows, some of them may be killed. So in that way, Beholder is a straight up like political horror game. I think that that's super interesting and really, really cool. But in a way, it also is kind of terrifying because it does hit really close to home. And I'm saying this from the perspective of a person that has not gone through a regime like this. So like, you know, I talk about this is like the nightmare of, let's say, an American or something like that. But regimes like this have existed for other countries. North Koreans are living things like this right now. People in China live things like this right now. And you look back at things like Russia and Germany and Italy, they've been through this stuff. They've been through worse than this. Taking that into consideration too, this really is a horror game. The idea of it really is, when you boil it down, frightening, because this shows you what the worst of mankind can really do to itself. So I had to get out here and talk about it and really think about it. And especially with the political atmosphere and stuff like that right now, it was just too much for me to just let it go and pass on. I needed to talk about it and to get some other focus on it. If you guys haven't played this game, I really think you should give it a shot. I really enjoyed it a lot. It has amazing replay value. Almost every single choice that you make in this game is going to change something. And I love that about it, especially because simple choices I made even in the very beginning of this game came back to haunt me later. And I think that that is super, super cool. I'm definitely going to also play the DLC, and I'm going to play the sequel. Don't know when I will get to them, hopefully soon, but there are plenty of other games I want to play. Again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my discussion about this, and I really want to hear your guys' opinions. And I know I did some taboo about talking about some politics and gaming, but I do think it is an interesting topic regardless of how you feel about it. So just have the discussion, let it be civil, keep it going, and just kind of feel our way through. By the way, all of my videos are now also being published on the nerdsloth.com website, so make sure you head to nerdsloth.com. You can watch the videos there and also find some of the podcasts I'm on. If you haven't checked out this podcast already, you can go there and find these videos along with some of those. So it's kind of a one-stop shop. God, I hate that term, and I'm so mad that I just said that right now. And just thank you guys, and I'm going to go back to trying not to die.